Hiya folks, I'm Grim and welcome to Grim Grooves. Today we'll be checking out two battle themes from Reverse 1999 that are connected in some way, which is really interesting. The first one is Kingdom of Numbers and the second is A Greek Tragedy, and then afterwards we'll listen to them both together and see how they sound paired together. I'm really interested in this. This was a request from my Patreon and it's always so interesting looking into Reverse 1999 music because it's always so diverse and so interesting. And if you'd like to request something yourself, you can request it to tier 2 of my Patreon, and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe too because it helps the channel immensely. But without further ado, let's get into Kingdom of Numbers from Reverse 1999. Ooh. Feels very like South American to me. Nice. Ooh. This is really interesting. I mean, starting off with just the simple kind of percussion beats. I'm not sure what kind of drum that is necessarily, but it has a really interesting reverb in it. I think that's where I'm getting the South American vibe from. It definitely has that kind of like bouncy feeling that a lot of kind of, especially ancient or like older kind of South American music sounds like, at least in my opinion, from what I've heard from video games mostly, honestly, because it's not like I've been listening to like classic South American music a lot, but I mean that vibe definitely feels like that kind of zone, that kind of area in the game or something like that. But fantastic melodies, and then having that piano melody come in every once in a while is also just excellent, and just so many different layers and little elements to get added to the song as we go on. And then going into the actual battle theme here, we're getting some new kind of percussion beats and it ramps up the intensity a little bit, but we'll go back to the beginning and get this whole thing again. Ooh, violin. Ooh, nice. Oh. Castanets. This is so layered. Like, there's so many different violin melodies and they're all just so excellent. Like having that main violin element just in the forefront, and in the background there was I may have been a viola actually, or maybe even a cello or something like that. I'm not sure. It had a little bit of a different sound than the violin melody we've been getting through this whole thing, but it keeps building really nicely with these like little synth hits that come in as well, like the ba 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 ba. It's really interesting. I mean, it was a lot more peaceful in the beginning, in the pre-battle stage of this song, and as it's built into the battle, it just keeps getting more intense, but still has this kind of like rhythmic kind of jungle feel to it, like the castanets coming in, like the little extra percussion beat of those. It again, in my opinion, feels like that kind of South American vibe. Again, I could be completely off in that regard, but regardless, the song is fantastic. Those castanets again. And slow fade out after the cymbals. Really, really cool. I mean, I'm always blown away by how good the composers at Reverse 1999 are, especially for kind of creating music for different styles of environments and different zones and stuff like that, because every song I've heard from them so far has been incredibly distinct and interesting. And again, if this song is, and I was correct, if it was like a South American environment, then I only really got the clues of that because of the song style and stuff like that. And I've been told that this is like something to do with like a cult of numbers, a Pythagorean cult or something like that, which is really interesting, which could kind of lend itself to like Mesopotamian, like ancient Mesopotamia or something like that, or Aztec, or I don't know, something like that. I'm just trying to reinforce my own beliefs based on the little information I've got so far. But anyways, we've still got 2 more songs to check out. Well, 1 more song and then the 2 songs combined, so let's get into it. Next is The Greek Tragedy. Ooh. Very soft. Those drums sound similar. Interesting. Nice. Interesting. I can definitely see the comparisons. I wanted to just let this one play out because it's a fairly short song, so we'll get the whole thing, and then going into the next part, we'll get both songs together again, I'm sure. But wow, I mean, just even starting off near the beginning, right, we start getting this kind of the same similar drum beat that we had in the last song, the kind of island feel to it. Although there was obviously some distinct differences with this version of the song. It was a lot slower, a lot more kind of reflective, whereas the other one was like really in the moment, like a battle theme. It felt like the other one was like straight in the action, like in like a jungle vibe or something like that, at least from what I could interpret of it. And this one it feels again like very reflective, like thinking of the past, thinking of things that have gone in the past, or things that have happened or something like that. But it still has those same kind of motifs that the other song had, which is really interesting. And it'll be interesting to see them or hear them both together and see kind of how they compare one and right after the next, and how they flow into each other and stuff like that, because they definitely both have that kind of island vibe to it. They have that percussion. There wasn't as much violin in this one, but there was some near the end of the loop or whatever. But really, really solid songs regardless. I mean, once again, they just have such fantastic composers, and I can't wait to actually play the game myself and to see and experience these songs in game and get to see kind of how much more I'm missing and I haven't seen yet, because I've only heard a handful of songs from this game. But anyways, let's check out both songs together and see how they sound as a pair. Okay, so the second song was called Me Inside the Bottle. That's what it was. It's from the arc, I think, Greek Tragedy. But, I mean, the ideas of these things are really fascinating to me, because, I mean, an idea of a Pythagorean cult that are all numbers, and this is like, I believe, 37, I was told. And then a Greek tragedy. I've always been a huge fan of Greek mythology and things like that, and anything relating to it, so even more reasons to check out the game. But anyways, let's listen to both of these together and see how they sound. There's those island vibes again. That was really interesting. Like, I was expecting it to be one after the next, and it was like they just have very similar themes and we'd flow from one song into the next. I didn't realize that they were combined as one, and it was like they were each parts of one whole song split apart. That's really, really cool. I mean, the way that they flowed together and became something completely different with similar themes, but it was a lot more diverse and a lot more complex as we got into this version with both of them combined together. Super interesting. And I wonder how exactly they were lined up, but I mean, it seems like they were meant to be together. It's like two puzzle pieces just interlocking and becoming something different because they're together. It's really interesting. I mean, I did not expect this. Like, I was expecting just a completely, like, one song then separate song and kind of hear how they compare together. I wasn't expecting them to be layered on top of each other, but again, they changed into something completely different. So similar in themes already, except again, one was a little more kind of, I'd say, again, a little bit sadder, a little more reflective, and then the other was a little more action-packed in a way. But when they come together, the more action-packed focus kind of overtakes everything else, and it just becomes that much more intense as a fight theme. I mean, the fact that they did this is really impressive. Like, to have that kind of forethought in Chapter 5 of the game to make a song, which will then pair with a song from Chapter 7 of the game. And I believe that there's some important meaning that goes along with the themes and stuff like that, I've been told. I don't know. Again, I don't need any spoilers just yet because I will play the game eventually. Super intriguing though, and I love that they even did this. Like, it's something very rare to see in video games, but it's really, really cool. I mean, actually, I think we'll get this entire thing one more time because it's only a minute and 40 seconds, and after all this, yeah, I want to get it again. Those heavy drum beats from the other song. Here's where they start to meld together really nicely. The kind of somber, reflective nature from the second song, Me Inside of a Bottle, really just helps grow this song because it has that individual beats, which in the Message Inside of a Bottle song, it was a little more kind of somber, kind of sad, kind of reflective, but in this it just helps emphasize and amplify the other melodies in the song even more so because they're layered like this. And it feels like it's natural. It feels like it's always been this way, and this is just how the song was made. But having heard each one individually, and I can see why I was asked to do this in this way, because it's really interesting how you can see each element of each layered song kind of on top of each other, and the way they mesh together is just so flawless. That section, the bum 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 bum, like just so many different synth melodies layered in the back though, and like you would think that with two different songs kind of layered on top of each other there would be some kind of dissonance, like some elements that didn't really work, but it seems like it's flawless. Like it's again like two puzzle pieces, they just fit together perfectly. And if you show this up to someone, like they wouldn't realize that it's two songs put together because it sounds completely natural. Like it's just really good though too. And in this section, we get both kind of the light and the dark because we've got the like lighter notes with the kind of piano there and just like the little synth melodies we've got swirling around. And then in the bottom, we've got this still like just heavy individual noted kind of piano melody, a separate piano melody, which comes from Me Inside a Bottle, which again brings some more intensity to the whole thing and a little bit more emotion overall to the kind of lightness of the Kingdom of Numbers theme. It's really interesting, again, the dichotomy between the two and just how they mesh together and how they pair in different ways. It's really, really interesting. there's the violin coming up. Such an exceptional song. And I mean, each individual song again was also incredible, but I feel like this version, just when they come together, it becomes, because it becomes something new, it becomes so much more diverse and so much more interesting, and it's better than the sum of its parts in a way, right? Like this version of the song, or this combined version of the song, is in my opinion better than the individual parts that made it up. Although each other part is also fantastic, as I said, this version just amplifies both by becoming something new. It becomes that much more diverse and interesting, and it pairs so well together. Like, it's perfect. It's a perfect pairing. That was incredible. Just such interesting melodies, and again, layered on top of each other, it becomes so much more interesting, so much more diverse, so much more complex of a melody. I just wish it was longer, honestly. It'd be great to have like a whole 4-minute pairing of the two songs if they were both bigger, and 4 or 5 minutes. That'd be great. But anyways, this is still incredible. But anyways, thanks for hanging out watching my reaction. But until next time, later days, folks.